how I do a pastel ombre blend. I'm going to be taking the Made by Mitchell colour case and I'm going to be taking the shades Ice Melt, Matcha Business, Pick Up and Banana Smoothie. Taking Ice Melt on a P. Louise 7072 flat brush, I begin by coating both sides of the brush with the product, and then I will begin stamping along the edges of the cut crease first to ensure that I'm going in the correct direction before I begin pulling the product down to my lid. I will then take a small shader brush and just blend out the edges, just because we don't want the product to set, because then we will have a harsh line. I will then be taking the shade Pick Up on another P. Louise 7072 flat brush, and I use new brushes for each of these because we don't want the colours to go murky. So new shade, new brush, and I will then follow the same technique and place that to the point that I want it to be placed. Then I will take the small shader brush. Now I do have a wipe beside me also to wipe off any excess that is merged between the two colours, and I will just lightly blend these two together to avoid the harsh line. If I didn't blend these two together, they would set and there would be a harsh line right in the middle between them both, and we wouldn't have that seamless little flawless ombre blend. We'll then be taking the shade Banana Smoothie on a new 7072 flat brush and following the same process again with the stamp and press and then pull it down, and then also blend between the pink and the yellow. My last shade will be Matcha Business, and again we'll be following the exact same techniques, pressing it first along the edges of the cut crease to ensure we're going in the correct direction, and then pulling it down further and then blending the two colours Matcha Business and Banana Smoothie together on this small shader brush to ensure we do not have that harsh line. I might then go back over some of my shades, so I went back in with the yellow just to bring yellow back into it, as I feel like the green had took over a bit of the yellow too much and I wanted the yellow to come back into it. I will then also maybe go back in with my pink or back in with my blue, depending on how I want my blends to look. But for this I was happy. I only went back in with the yellow and the green and then blended them back together, and then I was happy with how it was looking. I have used the Made by Mitchell colour case for this. However, I do also use P. Louise paints or P. Louise colour bases quite a lot when I'm doing like an ombre blend like this. All those products work really well. I will then be going into the Stacey Marie and Be Perfect Carnival Interstellar palette. I love these pastel shades. They are my favourite pastel shades ever. And I'll be taking Nebula to set the blue, Fiction to set the pink, Luna to set the yellow, and then for the mint green I'll be taking the shade Earthbound. This just intensifies the pigment of the bases we have put underneath. So of the colour base we are just intensifying each of the shades pigment, and it just makes it look a lot more smooth as well, I always feel. So that's just why I always do this technique. You don't have to set these with a shadow. If you are using the colour bases you would set them with a shadow, but if you're using P. Louise paints or the Made by Mitchell colour case, you don't actually have to really set them. I always set them anyway, as I just feel like it makes it look more smoothed, and it also looks a lot more like seamless on camera when you're taking your pictures. And again, following the same process, I will go with my shades, and if I feel like I need to go back in, I will blend back in with more, just to ensure the blends are looking seamless. And that is how I do my ombre blends. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Please let me know what you think.